Hi, Saujanya.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Where are you from?
I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, excellent. What do you do?
I work as an IT professional.
Oh, great. So
How about you?
I work online. So I teach Indian audience online, two subjects, emotional intelligence and digital entrepreneurship. It's great to have you here. Although you're working, you're taking off your Saturday time and then being here to learn something. That's a great step.
Yeah, the message which you kept, I always feel the same thing.
What message is that?
In the WhatsApp group, it's you only, right, who posted watching the phone and feeling afterwards that I was,
Ah,
those are exactly that's what I feel day to day. I feel okay today I'll be very productive and I'll make it good, but after 1 2 hours again it is back to normal, and at the end of the day again I will feel no, this is not what I want, but again the same thing is repeating again and again.
I know. It's true for everybody, right?
Yeah, even though there is nothing coming, that is like it's like an addiction, taking the phone, watching it, even though there are no messages also.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. I mean, this awareness is not there in us, right? Who's going to teach us? Who's going to point out to us what is our patterns and all that? We have to take a step. We have to make sure that we are helping the family people around us, kids,
Yeah.
adults, spouse, and all that. Because especially when we don't have an outlet, right? Physical
Mhm.
outlet, we succumb to what is there available near us, and the very very close and unavoidable thing is the phone. And then right
Yeah.
now, mobile has become like an organ. It's like
Mhm.
it's like a second extra hand for us.
Mhm. Yeah, I will think all this, but again it is back. I feel like it's like a drug addiction only.
Absolutely, Zarina. True,
They also will not be able to overcome because they are addicted to so much, and same thing happens here with the phone.
true. And they look at us, they model us, right? And people, kids and adults, they model us, so they wouldn't be able to stop either.
Yeah, exactly. I see my kids and I tell them sometimes they will tell me back also.
Yeah. How many kids you have? What age?
I have two,
Okay, age bracket.
8 and 5.
Ah, okay. I have a 9-year-old daughter, so I can easily relate to what you're going through.
Oh, okay, okay. And sorry, I didn't get, what do you teach?
I teach emotional intelligence skills, which is going to be the most demanding 21st century skills, which will involve self management, like emotional awareness, self
Mhm.
regulation, and purpose of life. Once you
No.
have this, efficiency is important. How you master your efficiency. That is why the productivity calls is happening. And
Mm.
after you are efficient within yourself, you'll be able to manage your emotions and with others also. And
Oh.
after that, people can expand in terms of, okay, I want service to people around me. Just a second, I'm going to. Okay, hi, Mridula. Welcome. Okay, so I was telling you, Satya, once you're able to manage your emotions well, you'll be able to manage the emotions of others also. So you're getting mastery in your efficiency, and that is why we are doing productivity calls. Then we will switch on to mastering emotions within us, and then how can we handle people, emotions like kids throw tantrums on us, adults, spouse, we have a relationship, constant struggles going on. How do we handle them? Once everything is through, like once you are able to manage yourself well, then you're able to manage others around you. It's a very small step, but it's a big step. It's a big effort for everybody because it's going to be constant. It's not like parenting is not just a weekend job, right? Neither the spouse relationship is going to be a weekend. It's going to be throughout with us. So once you're able to manage these two, you can step on to, expanding your availability of your time efforts for others. Because if you are not well within yourself, you're not happy, you're not healthy, you're not able to manage your own time and task and your goals, you will not be able to extend yourself to others. So these three steps, how can a woman, a mother like us, like you, how can we pass through these three steps through emotional intelligence skills? So that is the first thing that I teach. And then somebody who's very clear with their purpose and they're able to manage themselves well and their family is okay, they are all aligned. Now it's the time for them to make money. Because you as a Saujanya, you're working professional, right? So you know very clearly handling both work and life is a struggle. But what if you have a mastery in managing both and finding an integration well? That is something beautiful, right? But most of us won't get that convergence. It's called ikigai. Okay, we will find the common thing, like what you are good at. You should be able to find out. A lot of people miss that factor. We work for something, but we're not good at it. If you're good at it, we're not happy. We're not going to be.
Yeah, actually, I want to do something else, but I don't know what is that something. I don't have any hobbies also,
I
right
know.
from my childhood, I didn't have, because at our childhood, all I don't know how your parents, but around my surroundings, all the parents want is just read, get the marks, be first in the
And
school.
be an engineer, right?
Yeah, and no other activities are required because they don't give anything else, because being in lower middle class family, that's what their priority
Correct.
also.
Correct. Most of us are on the same journey. Okay.
And now I don't know, I see so many, that's what I see, so many videos or reels, shorts, whatever, people will be painting or dancing or doing so many things. I feel like okay, I don't have anything or all those things.
No, no, no. You should be able to ask the person who's doing all that. They will be talking your thing. I mean, at least you're working. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So grass is greener always on the other side, Saujanya. But the point is, how are we going to find the overlap? Like, what are you good at? Do you love what you're doing? And then can you, do a service for others by doing what you love? And then can you have time and effort for that? Will you be paid for it? That's the whole thing. If you're not paid for it, we can't be going for a charity all the time. So finding that common interest is called ikigai. That's what is the money-making aspect. So I've chosen online as a platform for me to earn money. Okay, I'll be getting into ads, I'll be preparing courses and all that. This community was formed for a different reason, and then it became big. We took feedback from a lot of people, and then we narrowed down to self-development topics, because that is more essential for us. I mean, parenting is an ongoing thing. Of course, we will be doing topics on parenting as well. We started doing many topics like involving parenting, security, neighborhood. We spoke about recipes. We did a lot of things for the last 1.5 years, and then I had to take a break because I had to go to India. So this is how it started. But right now, professionally, I'm teaching 2 subjects for women alone. So for people, for mothers like you, like me, who wants to do something for the family, wants to contribute money to the family, do something for the lifestyle, and then also be able to help others, not leaving the home, the comfort of home or traveling. It's a huge issue right here, unlike India. So I don't want to leave my home. I don't want to travel, because that's going to be a struggle again. Until something's falling in place here, I want to do something online, and it will be a lifelong thing. I can do it anytime, right? Weekends, you can teach online, as long as you know that you find your ikigai very clearly, and then you have to venture into it. All right, Saujanya, so stay with us. Keep in touch. I've got another person. I'm going to admit them. Prashanti is also part of my paid community, and as well as USA Moms Group. Hi, Prashanti.
Hi, Brinda.
Welcome. But I must thank you guys for being here, because on a Saturday morning you could be anywhere, but then you've chosen to be here because maybe the message that I've shared could be the reason, or it could be the reason that you want to continuously keep learning and nurturing your self-development, which you think it's pretty important for yourself and for your family. In any good reasons, you being here, it's a great thing. You're doing it for yourself and for your family, and as a community, we're sharing a lot of experiences, insights inside this community. Of course, I've crystallized the learning in a particular format, which I will be presenting to you. But other than that, we totally appreciate your presence here. Thank you, Manal. Thank you, Mridula. It'll be good if you keep up the chat at least going on, so that we'll be actively participating. A little bit of recap, so that people who could not come in the previous call, or people who were there in the previous call, it will be a good recap for you all. It's the knowledge sharing sessions for moms, as I already told you in the beginning. It's a small little community which grew exponentially in certain times, but then all communities will take a graph. They'll go dip and then they will come back. But people who stick with this community see a lot of value. Okay, the consistency kicks in only when you start showing up, and you being in this community will start giving you an exponential impact and growth only when there is a stickiness factors. Okay, and of course I think I'm doing a justifiable topics. I'm bringing up a lot of topics. Earlier we used to have a leadership team which will form, and then we will discuss the topics. And in fact, because of that, I've taken a great leap of initiative because of the feedback who have the long timers have given to me. So I must thank them, and I think it's useful for everybody, all the moms here. So without any much ado, so what will you get from this lesson, from this community calls, is you are getting a continuous learning. Okay, when it is going to be a continuous learning, it happens through a particular format. Otherwise, it's going to be little. If there is no format, it will be a vague learning. You might as well want to do that vague learning from Google, and YouTube also gives you a lot of videos, right? But why do we not choose to do that? Because we want a structured format, because the brain always needs a structured format, so that it it gives us the space and time to imbibe what has been learned, reflect, and then put it into practice. Otherwise, it's going to be abstractive, and then we will go back. It's like a dopamine assessments that you just took in the message. We will go back to the same vicious circle. So if there is a continuous learning, this is a format: 90 minutes of weekly community calls, unless and until there is an emergency or a family time that I may not be able to take it. But I've committed myself. People who have attended the previous calls will know a lot of things that I keep reiterating, because it is important for me to also tell myself, hey, look, I've committed something. Let me show up. In fact, my vacations or my family planning, everything, even the family is aware that Saturday morning, Mama has to come for a call. So we have aligned that way. So it will go on forever. But only right now I see is next 1 year what we are going to do. So in total, you're getting 78 hours. Just in case you plan your Saturday morning, right? 1 hour to 1.5 hours that you show up for this community calls. You're going to not just going to get a live experience, because a lot of people jump in. Also, be able to imbibe what is given here and then put it into action immediately, just to see whether it's working for you or not. You don't have to believe anybody. You don't have to believe Google. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe anybody who shares. Just see what's working for you. But all you have to do is be participative here, reflect, go back and think through, and then take one takeaway to practice that. Okay, it's going to be a peer learning, sharing, assessment will be given to you here, but it is not in the format of you going and doing a homework. It'll all be there in the live course. In fact, a lot of people ask for me recording. I'm preparing for it. I'm preparing an LMS where it'll all be, see, the sharing that you're doing right now, the moms that we share a lot of things here. It could be personal. It has to be private, right? That's the only reason I'm not putting into YouTube, because it's very easy for me to put a YouTube live, and I will be getting views. You never know, I'll be getting monetization through YouTube, but I don't want to do that, because it's a private thing that I want to keep it close, and the group itself is private. And that is the reason I found an LMS systems where a recording will be there forever, lifetime access. But there will be a minimum amount of payment to the platform. That is the exact framework that I'm working on it. Don't worry, it will be bare minimum cost. But if you see the value of it, you would like to go for a lifetime access, which I will be letting you know very, very soon. But not now, because you're allowed to come live calls. As long as I'm taking a live calls, you're all allowed to have an access. Okay. If there is somebody who's giving me a knowledge, right? If there is somebody committed to show me a knowledge, show me what they have learned and what is the successful people are learning. what is the trend in Google right now? What is the trend in market right now? If it's available at free of cost, I will be the first person to grab it. If we have to be smart enough to make ourselves learn from the right person, right stuff, make use of our time and money. More than money, the time and effort is more important for us, right? As moms. So we will be doing that. And there are certain topics where we will go out for a breakout room. But of course, for a breakout room, you need a good amount of people. Am I right? Okay, now the framework is very simple. For each and every topic, we've already done a good amount of topic in productivity. Now, in this very, very important topic today, stay with me till the end. You will see how it is relevant for any role you are, whether you're a working mother or your homeowner. You don't know how productivity factors are hitting our energy level, brain power, the goals that we have, you're not able to complete. Thereby, we are going for a guilt ride and then low esteem. So everything is connected. And the topic today, what we are going to discuss, is also something that nobody can tell us. I mean, initially Sarojini and me were discussing. All of us, we have that pattern. How many of you have read that message and said, "Oh, yo, this is me. I really want to know how to come out of this." How many of you was able to relate? This was you. And I must tell you that you are not alone. You're not alone at all, because all of us have, irrespective of any ages. But the only thing is, as an adult, we have, and nobody's there to tell us, okay, this is your pattern. You know why? Because they themselves are going through it. You will find rare people who have come out of it. And those rare people will not be there around us. They will be there out there, successfully running their life and their business. And you will have to pay to reach out to them, because that's how the world is right now. In the world of distractions, it is very, very important as to, consciously be aware of what you're feeding to your mind, through your words, through your actions, through your, what you're feeding through your eyes. It's very important to know that and be aware of it, so that you will be able to come out of it. If you don't have an awareness, what will happen? You will, again, maybe once in a while, something, bulb-on movements. In our mentor community, we will talk about bulb-on movements. Maybe this call could be a bulb-on, but then it depends on you how you are allowing this call to have an impact on you. That depends on you, because you have to go back, reflect, and then work on it. Otherwise, it will be yet another call that you're just coming, and then the next episode, you may not be able to, be having a willingness to come, because you have not worked on it. Okay, that is the reason why we are losing the track, and then we're all going back to the same addictions. I mean, the same patterns, and thereby it is turning as an addiction. It could be simple thing, or it could be a really big thing that you've spent money, but you're not able to continue what you're doing, because these are all patterns, which has become like a habit for you. So first is to create that kind of an awareness. When it comes to awareness, right, what we will do is we will check what is the definition of the particular topic we are going to talk, and what are the myths and mistakes about it. Myth is like, you may have given a particular download about discipline. Discipline means this is what it is for my family. So the definition derived out of your family, or based on your associations with your friendship, with your schooling, with your college, or with your work environment, you would have defined something. So this is what is something that you have believed and you have carried on with your life. But what if somebody says, no, this is not what it is? You've been doing mistakes for all these while. Suddenly you will feel down. Oh my God, I've been leading my life like a fool. So we need to understand, when it comes to awareness, we need to know what mistakes are we doing. And it's not just that in this live call, right? When we ask other people, you will get to know, okay, these are the other mistakes that I've been doing, but I was not aware of it. Or the other person is saying, okay, great. Thankfully, I have not been doing that mistake. Many things can be an insight for you. So ultimately, if you do not know, if you don't have that clear distinction, right, the awareness is not yet kicking. And we'll also see what is the advantages and disadvantages for a role in your life. Like, you could be a mother, you could be a married woman, a young couple, or you could be a mother of 2 children, or you could be working mother, juggling a lot of tasks. Or you could, be in of course, being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter, all of us have so many roles, right? So what is it, these productivity calls or the topics that I'm going to line up in the next few weeks after the productivity call is going to do for me? Because if it's not going to give me an, advantage, I may not be able to take it as an awareness at all. So the first thing the mind asks is, what is it in for me? If it is valuable, if it is useful, is when you will take it. But then the awareness is not like that. Even if it is not kicking in right now, at least an awareness is given to you, so that you will not do that mistake when it is time for you to do that mistake. You will learn from others. That is being smart. Learning from others' mistakes saves a lot of time and energy. Okay. And then we will see what kind of styles we did in productivity calls. We did, productivity styles. Like, we understood from certain questioners, we could understand each other's, style of what is productivity for us. And then what kind of productivity model are we actually doing, naturally, unconsciously. And then we went to a conscious productivity style, which is actually working for successful people. Because in this, community calls, what I've done is I've created a mind map. By the way, people who do not know this is called mind map. This is a classic example of productivity, because this saves a lot of time. Instead of doing a PPT, giving you a lot of images, videos, and all that, this is so easy for me to jot down what is in my mind and then put it in bullet points. How many of you do not know about mind map? Give me a yes in the chat box. Or DNK. That means do not know. This is a classic tool that you can use. See, there are 2 apps that I cannot live without. I could even be without WhatsApp, except for my business. I use WhatsApp because all my community, all my family nearby, back in India, we talk, right? It's rare that we, converse in WhatsApp. Most probably what we do is only share the forwards. If I leave that, WhatsApp is of no use for me, except for my business uses like sending reminders or community chat. Other than that, without notepads, I cannot live without, because whatever comes in my mind, everything goes in my notepad, notes on my iPhone. And the same can be synced with my laptop. So it's like very easy for me to jot down what is it in my mind. The second thing is mind map. When it comes to business point of view, anything and everything is there in my mind map. From the mind map is when I will expand it to either PPT or working on Excel sheet or Word document and all that. So I presume all of you here know about mind map. If there is anybody who do not know, this is for you. Okay, it kind of easily, it's like a tree, right? From branches, it is going to sub branches and then subtask and all that. Okay, and then we will also see theories. Theories meaning you take a particular topic and we will see what is the theory, what is the science backup for it. Because there could be one theory which is classic, which is universal, it's like a law of attraction. Okay, Murphy law or Martial law. So those are all law which has been derived after a lot of research and it's been time tested. All we have to do is just adapt it. Similarly, we will also see a science backup. Maybe the theory can be denied and defied based on your experience and insights. But that needs a lot of trial and error, constant effort from you. So we will, the best thing is we will see the theory, apply it. If it's working for you, we will continue. If it is not working, you need not continue. Okay. But nevertheless, it is important for you to create that right kind of awareness. We will have to see all this. And then the skills. Now, see, for you to travel from A to B, suppose you are here, that is your current status. You are in the procrastination stage, or you are in the addiction stage, not yet, but then you know very well, looking at your pattern, people discussed with me in the messages and in the live calls that they are almost stepping into the addiction. Good that they saw this message and then popped in. Okay. What if your destination is not the addiction? Your destination is something, maybe your destination is successful life. So you know where you are right now and you know where to go to be. Okay. If you do not know the destination, that's again a problem, because even when you want to drive somewhere, your Google map itself will not show you unless and until you put the destination, right? Without destination, it's not going to take you anywhere. But if you know your A and B, you know your current status and your goal, where you want to reach, what is the missing element? Your skills, your capacity building. That's exactly what we are doing through community calls. We've been talking about a lot of topics. We created a good amount of awareness, but then we still are not fulfilled. We still, are in the same habit of procrastination or inconsistency. There's no discipline. There's a poor lifestyle. Okay, my sleep is getting hit, or my health is going poor, or my relationship is getting hit. We're still in the same vicious circle. So what is the missing element? The missing element is the capability increase is not yet, in your life. All you have to do is create that kind of a right awareness for which you need to show up. Once you show up, that itself is building a consistency for you. Then with that confidence, you're going to learn what are the habits the successful people are taking it. What I have done is, this is a learning for myself also, right? Because I won't be able to spend time to crystallize whatever is there in Google, because that's anyway there. But what is needed is something that I filtered out and taken it. So a mother like me, a person like me who's ambitious and as well as juggling the work-life integration, if there is somebody like me, it is definitely useful. So that is the reason I took only the ones which is useful for me, and I'm teaching or doing a service for you guys. If you are in the same journey, you might want to take it and see whether it's working for you or not. So I filtered out habits which are successful and successfully driven by successful people in the industry. Okay. And then the hacks and techniques based on my own life. Okay. I mean, their journey could be different because they're successful. It's not necessary that he or she and me should be the same. My life is different. My life is teaching me something different. But yet, for me to be successful like them, I need a lot of missing elements and the milestones have to be achieved. So what I will do is I will look at my own self. That awareness is actually kicked in. But then what I will do is I will apply and see whether it's working for me or not. And for me to apply, it is the consistency, it is the discipline, it is the action, it is the implementation. All these things matters. So I will build that right kind of skills. So in this session, after the awareness is created well enough, we will see what is the skill that is required for a mother like you to be productive in terms of time management or in terms of focusing, concentration, or building discipline, attention management, all these topics under productivity. We will see what are the skills, competency needed for you. If you have the right talent, right, you might as well want to go and do a fishing. I don't have to show you what is fishing. I can still show you this is what is fishing. But then if you know what is fishing, you can actually fish. Otherwise, there's no money. So we will see what is skill and then direction. Direction is nothing but goals, vision, and all that. We just spoke about destination. Once you're clear with your destination, with your awareness and necessary skills that you've built, you can actually walk through the path towards your destination very easily and smoothly. For which I will also share with you goal setting, impactful goal setting. Okay, we will see that in next following weeks about each topic. If it is productivity, under time management, attention management, focus management, and all that, we'll see what kind of goals that we can pick and use it. Okay, so that it is not too burdensome, too overwhelming. You can do it on the go. Even if you're not working at home, you can pick up your own goals so that it will be suitable and relatable for your larger goal, both for yourself and for your family. If you're a working person, wonderful. You must be having your work goals as well. All you have to do is make a personal goals. Like somebody who shared, I don't have a hobby, right? So we'll make that as a goal. We'll see how that fulfillment is coming out of that goal. Okay, we'll be creative. We'll be creating this kind of a goal. What is helping you? What is helping you and your family? That is more important. And then book review. Today we are going to actually do 2 book review quickly in a matter of 1 hour. How's that? It is not possible when you go out on the internet or you have to pay and then do a book club and all that. It's very simple here. And then synergy. See, I have done that part for you to, you don't have to worry about taking what concepts, learning from where should I start, where should I end? All that is not needed for you. I've done that part. All you have to do is show up, participate, and reflect. That's exactly what is the next step. How can you make use of it? Participate, learn, reflect, apply, improve, and make it as a career enhancement, or all of us want to do something, right, for contributing our family. So it is a matter of you choosing the line. That's all. Somebody could have chosen the working style, like going to office, being an employee. Somebody could have chosen as a, entrepreneur. But whether it is a physical product or online product is something that they have chosen. Either ways, we are enhancing ourselves. So learning these things should actually help us enhance ourselves in the, both the work and the life. Without the enhancement, there's no point of you learning from anywhere. How does it going to help you? You will have a great start by attending these calls. You're just going to give you a kickstart from your life. Maybe today you're going to decide it's okay. I mean, I'm aware. I admit that I have those patterns in me. When it comes to dopamine thing that what we're going to learn, all you have to do is just have a great start today, right now. Forget about what you did yesterday. Build that right kind of an awareness in this call, and then cultivate that great habits of going and maybe practicing at home. I'll tell you the retention key. Okay, I've been telling this every call. So if you are a person who have a memory loss, that you're not able to recall small things or to big things or practice consistency in your life, all you have to do is key. Okay, just remember this as a key. It's like you have a lock and you're going to rotate it with the key, and the key numbers are 10, okay, 24 and 7. Do it along with me. Okay, it could be an experiential learning. Whether your video on or not, just do it along with me. Just say 10, 24 and 7. You know what it is? It's like 10 means 10 minutes. 24 means 1 hour or 1 day. 7 means 7 days. That's all it is. All you have to do is whatever you've learned here, make it as a practice in next 10 minutes, reflect that. And you have a group, you have a USA Moms group. All you do is go back in that group, you reinstate, just write a small message about 2 takeaways, what you've learned from here. What you want to do from today, based on the learnings that you've done. Just 2 takeaways and 2 action points. So this is going to reinstate yourself, your mind. Hey, look, I am writing down because I want to recall and practice. This is a commitment that you're giving to yourself. Okay. This is the first step for you to break through your procrastination, break through your inconsistency, break through your indiscipline in your life. I'm telling you, this could be very small thing, but it's a very powerful thing. That is the reason, week after week, I keep reinstating, go back to the group and then put your learnings. It is not just a way of paying forward. It is also paying forward for your own self that you're present here. Okay. Even if people are not present here for some reasons, I truly respect the recordings. People who are watching recordings, right after the recordings, go back and put your learnings. Once you record your learnings is when you're going to tell your mind, oh, look, I've committed and I don't want to harm myself. I go back and recall and repeat this, practice. And then the 24 hours comes. So within the 24 hours is when I'm going to practice what I said. And after 24 hours, 7 days. You know why? Because if you don't do this format, the brain has a natural tendency to forget. And if the by hands, by heart and head, if you don't work on it, the body is not going to recall that at all. It'll anyway go fizzle off because we are so busy, we are so distracted in the world, it will go fizzle off. So right after 10 minutes, right after this call, 10 minutes, within 10 minutes, you go back and put it in the, Moms group, or record your comments there. If you're watching your recordings there by itself, you record your comments. And then after that 24 hours, you pick up those action points and work on it and continue to work on it 7 days. The next 7 days, when I meet with you, the next episode, you come back and tell me what has worked for you and what is not working for you. Okay. This is how you can break through your consistency, any pattern, any habits that you have. And then thereby you're building your confidence. We are actually growing. Your family can also be a witness that you're actually growing. Okay. Now, today's topic for the next 1 hour, what we will do, but a little bit of code of honor. First thing is show up on time, because it is important that people, if they don't show up on time, I need to keep, admitting, and then it gets interrupted. And if you don't participate, you might as well want to, concentrate on something else. And we also saw multitasking is a myth. In the previous calls, we saw how brain is actually designed for only monotasking. It is not for multitasking. People who have tried, who actually admitted it is working well for them. If you want to try multitasking while you're learning, neither the learning will happen nor the task that you want to complete is going to complete. Okay. And then your reflection is also equally important for any learning. If you don't have the capacity to reflect, that means what? The person is not actually paid attention, neither took it seriously, right? These are all talents. Okay. Attention management, reflection, reflection itself is a talent, which we will see one by one. And paying forward is a new thing. The paying forward term itself is a new thing. That means paying gratitude. I pay gratitude at this point of time to my mentors, where I picked up all these learnings, to Google or the industry experts who I got inspired. I thank them, and I thank you people for you being here, because I learn from you, as well. Whenever we share some insights and opinions and experiences, I learn from you. Okay, so you go back to that group and pay forward. Okay, now the awareness is already given for productivity. And we saw what is time management in detail. We went to personality type test for time management. We saw what kind of myth and advantages that when we have, we also saw some skills and hacks regarding time management. And then we went to focus. Well, why are we choosing this framework? Under productivity, we can learn a lot of things randomly, but we went in structure because time management is like an ocean by itself under productivity. Because under time management, there is a lot of element called focus. If you don't have an ability to focus, your time will anyway run. You cannot manage your time. If you don't have a focus to manage your own self, your emotions and everything, anyways, the time will go because you don't have an ability to focus. If you have a fight at home, you cannot focus. If your health is not good, if you're not got enough sleep, you're not focused. And if you don't have that focus model with you, we discussed a lot of deep focus model based on, the book that we reviewed. We understood what is our distractions. If you don't have that kind of awareness, you will again be stuck in the same vicious circle. So we saw clearly what is distractions and what is the deep, few models that we can take it. Today, in, expansion of under the, distractions. In fact, we saw in this, distractions under the topic itself, we saw another book review called Indistractable. How do we become indistractable? We went in detail to understand what are the triggers, what is actually distractions for you. And then we saw the approach. We discussed about this book. And then we saw skills to manage them. We saw a little bit of hacks also. Sometimes some shortcuts will also work. So we did that. And we also saw some summary. Today, it is even more important because dopamine is something which is, at least for me, unless I started with this topic, trust me when I say this, I was not aware of this until a few weeks. When I started doing a research of this topic, okay, how can I, what can I do for my community? How can I build this productivity skills for my own self so that I can teach other moms like this? So because as a mom, I know what is the difficulty in parenting, relationship, managing home, or having business aspirations, handling business, juggling with everything. Under that, if I have a productivity skills, people like me will definitely be beneficial. So I started filtering that kind of a research. And when I found out, it's a very simple thing, but we have not been aware of this. Because we don't have the necessary awareness, we went on to a vicious circle. I'll tell you what it is behind. But before that, I want you to type in the chat box. How many of you are aware of this dopamine addictions or detox and all that? Are you aware of something causing you problem? Did anybody tell you, or do you know that there is an effect of dopamine in our life? Let me know. Okay, so you don't know in detail, but you're aware of it. Okay. You can even unmute and speak, because this is something that nobody teaches us. It has to come within our own spectrum of understanding. Yeah, issue of addiction, yes. Somebody says, yes, it is there in them. I mean, they got that awareness already. They are feeling something bad. I mean, something is not working for them, but they do not know what is that trigger, what is that pattern, or how do I break through that pattern yet. Okay. With all respect, you're not alone. Everybody is going through, whether it is kids or adult, irrespective of any gender, age. It's very pathetic to even say even the older people have gone into this dopamine effect. I'll tell you why. But before that, let's quickly understand, okay? Are you the person feeling tired, down, almost with no reason? Are you a person who feels unmotivated, lack of focus, wasting time, binge eating, watching? Do you have some time management issue that you're not able to be on time for any task? Or do you not able to complete task on time? Do you have a short-term memory that is to either recall events or dates or learnings that you have done so that, it's okay, we will do the routine, what we know? Are you the person who's not able to simply, solve some thinking problems? You have some difficulty in solving problems. It could be cognitive changes. I'll explain to you what is cognitive and emotional skills and all that. But do you also have problem in managing daily tasks? Routine task itself, do you have some struggle? And then lifestyle habits. I think this is the place where we all get hit, right? Anybody has obesity. I'll tell you what obesity, why the reason I said obesity is because almost everybody is in the verge of obesity. Am I right? Only if you're below 50 kgs based on your height and weight, we are not in obese. Anybody above 50, almost everybody, I'm just saying a rough idea, everybody is quoted under obesity. It's like how stress is used everywhere. Even the kids are saying, I'm stressed out. It's like that obesity word is used. And I came to an awareness, okay, obese starts from even a bare minimal, weight. So everybody is under obese, almost everybody, unless you're like slim and lean, okay? Sleep deprivation. So if you are the person who, looks at the mobile first thing in the morning and looks at the mobile last thing in the night, you will definitely have a sleeping issues. If you have a nutrition deficiency, how many of you heard vitamin D, deficiency is quite common for women above 35 years. I think it's advanced right now, even above 30 years, people are having the deficiency. How many of you are aware of vitamin D deficiency? I have been to India for a detox, okay? The doctor themselves in India, in fact, India has a good amount of sun on us, right? The doctor themselves are saying, even they have the deficiency. Sometimes they go cranky. They don't want to wake up in the morning. The reason is sun is available, but then how much are we exposed to sun? The physical activity or exposure to sun, what parts of the body, everything is covered all the time. You're wearing full hand shirts or fully covered suits. Forget about the USA people, because, when we get out now, we need to wear a lot of layers, but then how long and how far is the sun on us? If you're doing some physical activity, wonderful. It's like gardening or it's like going out and typically doing outside job. It's nice, but 90% of the world is, gone to AC environment jobs. So there is no need of physical activity at all. So that is where the nutrition deficiency also happened, because the type of food that you're eating. And I think the millets thing that we discussed in the group is something that, I will showcase about how millets can help you build that calcium and magnesium and iron naturally in your the list of nutrition through your little bit of changes in your food recipes. Okay. Sedimentary life is like without physical activity, no vitality. How many of you feel that when you talk to somebody, either you are not having a life in your conversation or they are not exhibiting life? How many of you felt during your casual conversation, how are you feeling? Oh, it's the same usual life. It's the same thing. There is nothing big. And you go like, okay, even I'm feeling the same thing. And how many of you felt like, how, if you ask somebody or somebody asks you how you're feeling, how many of you even have that courage to say, hey, well, today I'm having a good day. How many days have you said this? Or I'm having a great day today, or I'm feeling great today. I had a wonderful day yesterday. How many of you have given this kind of a response? Or seen that kind of a response for a how are you from others? It's very rare. How are you goes like wind. It's like, back in India, have you eaten food? So Saptingla it's a casual thing. It's a formality. It's a courtesy. It's a natural norm, right? So typically, how are you it's just like for the sake of it, people ask, and for the sake of it, people respond. So if you have that kind of a vitality in you, that there is no life, there is no energy in you, definitely your goals or the way you conduct your life will also be doomed. Okay, physical ailment is a natural occurrence. If you have all this, then diabetes anyway, everybody is having a pre-diabetic stage. Okay, nobody's fat. And then the gastrointestinal symptoms is another one, which is commonly seen in both kids and adults. That is constipation, chronic constipation, all that. It's just a simple thing that I've taken down, but in detail we will see. When we go through the other topics under dopamine, we'll see. And what about the mental health issues? By the way, can I bucket this into productivity issues? Can you see fidgeting is something that you do with your mobile all the time when somebody talks? You're not able to contain that. Either you're not able to focus on what they're talking, or you don't know the response, the right kind of response, or something happens that you always want to. Maybe the notification comes on your mobile. That one ping comes, you suddenly want to take your mobile. You forget the conversation happening. So, or when somebody's talking, you simply do. Kids always do, right? They do something with the hands, either with pencil or paper, whatever they have, they keep doing it. Fidgeting is also there in adults. Okay. So can I thinking problems and all this, can I bucket this into productivity problems? Do you think these are coming under productivity issues? Just type in the comment box. Do you feel anything left out? Because under productivity, we have some cognitive, that is thinking capacity, decision making, everything comes here. But you will find it interesting when I open the other issues. Then you will see, yes, we have relationship issues. Yes, that comes under, I'll tell you, under emotional well-being. I'll just quickly let you know. Now let's see the mental health issues. Okay. Have you heard about people having compulsive behaviors? They have lack of attention. It's a disease by itself right now. Disease is nothing but you're feeling diseased. Okay, the body is feeling diseased. It's not easily operational. It is finding some inconvenience. Okay, either mentally, emotionally, physically, anything can happen. Maybe because of external triggers, internal triggers, whatever it is finding some disease. This disease is nothing but attention deficiency. That's exactly why we are going to do attention management as a next topic. Okay, under focus, you should know that for you to focus, there should be some attention span. Otherwise, right now you're listening to me. I'm asking you to type in the chat, and maybe you're nodding your head without the video on. It's totally fine. That means you're paying attention. Suppose you don't pay attention here, what you should be doing? You should naturally be picking up your mobile, scrolling through other things while you're on the call or doing something for others or in the kitchen. All right. So this is what happens. And then lack of, mainly for ADHD people, it is very important that they should know what is their addiction levels. They should be aware of their patterns. Okay. Lack of organization skills. That is, organizing skills is nothing but like keeping your place tidy, neat, organized in a way that you can retrieve. That is, you can go back and without searching, without getting lost. You don't know where you kept things. Most of the times we will be searching. And I've seen, it's so pathetic to see adults have gone to a stage that they suffer a lot when it comes to search something. Okay. It shows a lot about that person. What kind of your entire existence, your physical existence is a showcase of your mind existence. It is not organization skills. It's not just in your space around. It is also to do with how you keep your, let's say, phone folders. In the phone itself, what kind of apps you have, what kind of folders you have, what kind of organizing that you're doing in your phone itself. Are you able to retrieve some data immediately? Same goes with your email. A person who, for example, my husband, or when I work in my organization, my office emails used to be neatly organized with folders like belonging to previous years. I've been working with the organization for 14 years. I've not changed except for, I worked only with 2 big brands. 7 years. For all the 7 years, I used to have the data point. Under each year, under each month, under each week, under each activity, I will have all that data quickly retrievable. It's the same goes with my laptop. Everything organized, right? Sometimes I go haywire. I mean, I'm also a human being. I handle a lot of things. So what I will do is in my notes, again, the note on my note app on my phone, I write down decluttering as an aspect. Well, decluttering is the most demanding topic. People have asked. I'll be doing the decluttering maybe this episode or next episode, because that is the most essential topic under distractions or focus. Okay. So under decluttering, we will quickly discuss all that. And then compulsive behaviors. Compulsive behaviors could be many things. In the morning when you wake up, you're compulsive to look at your phone. Even before you could acknowledge your family members, your kid will be sleeping, or kid wants to hug. No, you don't want to do that. You want to pick up your phone and see. It could be a calendar meet for your office. You got already late, or it could be your phone pinging with your friends, WhatsApp or family or forward, or whatever it is. You want to pick up your phone and see. Second thing is you want to have a coffee. There are many people. There are many live examples around our own life, right? Our own family. They want to have a coffee. Without coffee, they cannot even talk to people normally. Only after having a coffee, they can be normal people. How many of you have seen this? Live examples. When you go for a vacation, when you go to a hotel, right? People behave so differently if they don't get the coffee or tea on time in the morning. How many of you have felt this kind of compulsive behaviors, or have you seen this kind of compulsive behaviors in people around you? And then I can go on. Okay, yes. What is it?
Yes, Brinda, I myself, but I would say like I need coffee when I wake up, but I don't react or respond in a different way. It is not that I will not talk to you, but it's something that has become mandatory. And I've seen people who will not speak before having their coffee, and not even a smile, not even a good morning. Even when we say good morning, they don't even respond. So I've seen such kind of people.
So we judge people differently, right? It's like a monster effect in the morning. So for me, it took me time. Okay, I'm essentially talking about myself, and my in-laws when I stayed with them. I used to wonder, like, why are they so different in the morning and then they become normal only after 10 o'clock in the morning? So it is strange. Yeah. All right. Thank you for sharing that. And then violent behaviors. I don't have to necessarily tell you this. Everything goes extreme, right? When you step into the addiction mode, we ourselves become violent. And poor thing, our child doesn't understand, or they cannot interpret even what's happening to us. And then they go. Poor thing is like they cannot even have an authority to put it back to us. So imagine with this simple thing, simple compulsion, how it is taking our life into extreme situations, thereby affecting people around us, especially with kids, because they are going to look at us. They're going to model us, even without understanding what's going on in us. First of all, we don't even understand what's going on in us, right? Why are we acting in a different way? Why are we reacting in certain situations in a certain way? How can we impart the same knowledge to others, especially the kids? How can they understand? Okay. And if in case you have a problem in handling life situations, like you're panicking, even if it's something happens with your life, it could be your driving issues when you have some mini crash, or something to do with something comes up as a tax that you have to pay extra, or some bill comes in, or regarding people, like they behave differently, and then you suddenly have to panic, like they are so different yesterday, and I don't know how to handle them, whether it is kids or adults, at work or life. We panic all the time. Why? Because we don't have that ability to see through. We are not. Phone addiction is reciprocated by kids. Yeah, right, Manal, you're right. Because they mirror us, they model us. What we do is visible for them. The first thing they do is they observe us. Even before we vocally tell them for any learnings, they observe to learn. Okay, that's a nice insight. Okay, now you have a restless legs. This is an indication. Parkinson's disease is something that you lose balance. Suddenly you go restless. There's a lack of coordination and all that. And low libido. Low libido is low sex drive. This is also an indication. Okay. Poor emotional well-being is where we will see the other stuffs happening in us. Most of the time, mothers will be in a guilt ride. It could be for parenting issues, relationship issues, or personal efficiency, that you're not being disciplined or consistent or not able to complete a task, husband's expectation on us, or we ourselves our own expectations. The FOMO, they did this. My friend has gone to this vacation. I have not been able to do. All that thing will get confused, and we go on our guilt ride without even knowing that what we will do is when we are guilt, we get stressed, and when we are stressed, what we will do? We'll pick up a coffee, or we'll go and watch Netflix series, or we will sleep, or we will eat. Stress eating, stress watching, stress sleeping. Everything is attached to stress. The reason, we do not know what is triggering our stress. Even if you know what is the triggers, you're not able to break through that. Why? Because these dopamine are like, it's happening at your neurological level. It has gone way beyond our control. Okay? It is very, very important to be aware of all that. And there are other issues also happening. Anger management. You just do not know when somebody bypasses you in the highway. Anger is a core emotion. We have 5 to 6 core emotions in the emotional literacy as it is. Okay, only from those 5 emotions, like anger, sad, fear, surprise, and disgust. From all these 5 emotions is when you are getting other emotions like irritation, frustration, rage, and all that. The starting level of anger, even before you could reach anger's mode, there is a lot of other sub branches. You have to first get irritated or annoyed, and then you become frustrated. If the intensity goes up, you get frustrated, and then the intensity goes up, you get anger, and then there is something called rage. But what we are doing is suddenly, all of a sudden, we will only go to anger. Angry words, angry actions, angry behaviors, everything. And nobody can, any normal person cannot have anger management at all, ma. You need to manage many things before you come to that anger mood. You need to manage your irritation first, annoyance first, for which you need to know what is causing you irritation. And then you should be able to not build up to a frustration mode. If you allow it to build to a frustration mode, then you are easily allowing it to be a anger and rage. Rage is like extreme violence. Now you see how much emotions is also important. Learning about emotions is equally important, because emotional well-being is not something that you can avoid. You cannot ignore. All these things, what we are going to discuss, is playing a big role in life. These are all the biggest challenge area of a person. Whether it is female or male, they still have. It's just that male are not used to express. We are expressing. We need that expression. Our emotional tank has to be filled in. It'll be very interesting when I talk about that emotional intelligence topics, right? You will see all these tools and techniques I will talk. And these terms are very, indeed very funny, that we're all sailing the same boat. And then once you find the congruence, hey, look, it's not that I'm alone, I'm feeling bad like this. There are women like me, like Brinda, like Prashanti, like Mridula. Anybody is feeling the same thing. And then you will also be convinced, hey, look, even the male spouse is also feeling the same. And then you're convinced, okay, so all these problems are common. It's just that we do not know, we have not been aware of it. And now we are aware. You cannot unsee. People who are there in the live call today or watching the recording, you cannot unsee or undo what you have done. You cannot go and say, I'm not aware of this. In any part of the life after this, you cannot say. And are you a person feeling hopeless? Do you have a burnout? I had it. I think sometimes when the same pattern occurs, right, whether it's in a relationship or any area, I go into emotional fatigue. I'm telling you, the reason why I started teaching is I don't want a woman like me doing the same mistakes what I did. Going to a burnout stage or fatigue stage is not funny. It's not a fun stage. I've gone to a burnout stage like 2 times in my life in the last 4 years, and it's good enough for me. I will not step into the zone again for many reasons. Burnout happened for many reasons. When we're talking about that in the emotional intelligence topics, we will know it in detail. But for you to come back after that, come out of it, it's going to take a lot of toll you need to take constant effort. You need to be aware of it constantly, and it takes a lot. You need a support from your family also. Without that, see, somebody is saying, I went into burnout stage last year. Many women do not know that they are in burnout stage. That's a pathetic stage again. We constantly, we work like an autopilot machine, and we get, screwed. The reflection is physical ailment, obesity, poor lifestyle habits, gone our self-motivation, no purpose in life. And then social withdrawal. You don't want to be attending any functions. You don't want to talk to anybody. Your mood swings. Again, as the age factors comes in, every stage of life, women has to go different physical hormonal issues again. And then imagine the parenting is going to add up to the problem. And reduced emotions. You're like, vitality. There is no vitality. There is no life in our, general life, conducting life itself. There's no emotion that we are able to feel. I was asked this question, what makes you happy? It's a very simple question, okay? I'm asking you, all of you. You do not, anybody knows what makes you happy right away. If you have the ready-made answer, go and, put down your comments in the chat box. I must tell you, honestly, heartily, I will appreciate you. If you have the right answer right now, I mean, it need not be right answer, but right now, if you have an answer, wonderful. You've taken the steps of self-care. I did not have this answer the last 4 years. When somebody asked this question in 2016, that's where I got introduced to emotional intelligence. That's when even I understood that happiness is one of the emotions. Seriously, I was that bad in emotional intelligence. And even after that, I was not working on my learning. Absolutely, Prashant. We're all working. It took me almost 4 years to, I have a note. Again, I go back to my notes. Again, I'm saying, I have a list of happiness factors in my life. I have a list of a playlist. Under the music, I have a list for happiness, instant fire, gloomy days, or instant focus. All that I have a list of the songs. Whenever I go to the song, I get back to that anchor mode. You will find that interesting in emotional intelligence topics. The topics that I'm talking, right? Everything is relatable. Okay. So if somebody asks me right now, and I will, at this present moment in my emotional state right now, I can give you at least 4 or 5 things which really makes me happy. It has taken me a lot of time to prepare that list. So that level of lack of emotions that we have in our life. Somebody says my controlled diabetes and menopause, pre-menopause contributed. Of course, it's a conscious effort. It will become even more, conscious effort after this age. Once you pass through the, 35 years, the midlife starts. I don't know why they call crisis, maybe because of this lack of awareness, but you and me cannot say this crisis of midlife after this call because we are aware of it. It is in your hands how you are going to manage it. Because right after awareness is management. And right after management is where you can actually direct your life into doing something big for yourself and for your family. Unless you have the right awareness and right management techniques, you cannot pass through that stage very easily. Okay. Now, productivity issue, we already spoke. See how much is needed for one particular topic that I just spoke. Now we are coming to the second topic. What we are saying is right now, you see the relativity between dopamine addiction and productivity. We have not even come to what are the types of dopamine yet, but you see how much is it needed. So we will see in this topic how it is correlated. First of all, you need to understand the next 20 minutes we have, okay? What I will do is, it's okay, we don't have to rush. We will again see this, the leftover portion in the next call. But today what we will do, finish with this, is what is it you need to understand? Our brain tries to balance the neurotransmitters, okay? It's a natural production of hormones in our body. Dopamine is again a hormone, okay? The problem is, dopamine is the happiness hormone. Unless we all seek pleasure, okay? But only thing we do not remember is after pleasure is a pain. That's the tricky part of dopamine. Because many of us crave for it. We are not letting the body naturally create it. When we go deep dive into the same topic, I'm going to give you benefits and then natural ways you can build your dopamine. Once under each of these topics, just 4 areas. Under 4 areas, you'll find many hacks, okay, which can help you, like what kind of foods you can take, what is the supplements you can take, what is the simple hacks, simple things that you can take, so that you can naturally build dopamine in you. You don't have to, depend on stimulants like coffee, like Netflix series, so that you want that pleasure in you. It will be naturally cultivated. How many of you interested to do that? I would want to, because for me, when I had to come out of burnout, I didn't know what to do. I didn't see somebody's raising hand. Yes, we all of us want to do. And how many of you are also aware that you have to break through that pattern of pleasure and pain seeking? If you are aware that you have to build consistency, you should have the courage to break through. And that is what we will speak in our detox thing. First, we will understand what is distinctions, distractions, and discipline. You will find a lot of logical and useful steps that we have discussed. You just take 2 or 3, work on it, you will be able to see the breakthrough. Okay? But you need to understand the science of it too. Craving is what is making us feeling great. If you cut short the craving, example, instead of using sugars, the sugar level that you're using, if you are using less sugar, or sometimes take a 1-day fasting and do a no sugar day. Slowly you will exponentially, you will have a compounding effect of seeing that, one, you will have a weight loss. Second thing, your brain knows, hey, look, today is Prashantini's detox day. I'm not going to ask for sugar. It will slowly come. This is one simple thing. But you should be able to have an accountability system also, which I will tell you. So these are the hacks that we are dealing with mind, because mind is very tricky. So I, based on my own experience, I'm telling you, it's not possible to break through inconsistency or indiscipline in your life. It's not initially possible. You need to have a support system. This is one classical support system. Because after this call, you cannot unsee and undo. And likewise, we will create an accountability for you. People who came for this live call or who are attending the seeing the recording, we will create that accountability for you unless you're willing to create it for yourself. Because I cannot do a fishing for you. If I do a fishing for you, then you won't be able to earn. You have to do it. How many of you are ready for it, first of all? How many of you show commitment after this call that you will be able to take steps, what is necessary? After we finish the, knowing everything about dopamine, how many of you are ready to have a detox exercise? Wonderful. All right. Okay. Now, once you start craving, what's happening is you start feeding your body too much of that specific substance. Okay. What is happening is you go and have a coffee. You know what research says? The coffee definitely gives you that dopamine effect. It makes you alert, brisk, and all that. You know what is happening? Minal is also raising hand. I think she's taking a commitment after today. Wonderful. The coffee gives you that energy and stimulant, okay? It makes you alert. It gives you that kind of a, wow, I can do it right now. But immediately after that, it is actually draining your energy. This is by research. And I have a live example in my own family. I can see my own spouse, right after he has a coffee or before he wants to have a coffee, he's totally at his peak of his productivity. But after some time of the coffee intake, he again goes into one more, dosage of coffee. In between that, his energy is drained off. If the stimulant is actually giving you a, the energy level, should that stimulant not be sustainable? Why is it dipping you down? Why is it asking you for more and more? Should you not go to some stimulant? Or there's no need of stimulant at all. Should you not rely on your body to give that sustainable peak of productivity levels? This is exactly what we discussed in the first few episodes to find our circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is biological rhythm. You should know when in the day, which part of the day your body is allowing you to see. There are a lot of experiment we have done, right? We've also taken the feedback in the live, and then we have gone ahead and to see the circadian rhythm. My peak focus hours in the day is between 8 to 10 in the morning, and then 3 to 5, and then 9 to 11. I have my own reasons, because 8 to 11 is when I become fresh. Right after I finish all my cooking, I won't get into the kitchen after 8 a.m. My breakfast, lunch is already prepared. After that, I'm full on 8 to 10. Okay, and then I would need something to eat, and that's where there is a dip in energy. And then like 3 to 5, if I bypass that sleeping thing, right? Everybody goes tired and they go to a sleep mode. Luckily, the bus comes at that time, so I'm kind of an alert. And if I miss that, I again go back to the kitchen work and so many things, class works and all that. But right after I finish the kitchen work, after the dinner, and then I put them all to sleep, I don't have a disturbance. I'm like fully awake. I don't want to go back to bed, even though I will have some drooping eyes someday, depending on my tiredness. I'm like a peak focus. You need to understand your body rhythm. These are some quick things that you can do. And then if you allow it to feed onto your body, more than your craving, if you're fixed that, okay, I don't have it. Most of the times, one of the main thing why we step onto coffee or something, because it can be instantly made. And it is already made, you just have to add milk and sugar and then have. It's more to do with convenience also, but that is the place where we fall for. If you just take enough, little bit of effort, maybe create a salad and keep it all ready, or maybe nuts bottle nearby. I don't have it here, but then I have it in the dining table. Water or something to, munch so that you continue to keep your work up without interruptions. We'll figure that out in the following episodes. But if you have that natural tendency, or even go for a walk, when, I used to do this, whenever I feel sleepy, I immediately go for a walk. So over time, what happens is when you go and depend and create a dependency on a particular stimulant, all these called stimulant, right? Coffee is stimulant, Netflix series is stimulant, or talking to a friend, simply keep talking or scrolling with social media or the shopping list. A lot of things that we will discuss, okay? You will be surprised to see, these are the addictions that I will have or others are having. I might as well want to get rid of it, okay? And then the digital dopamine is also something that makes us keep going for it because of we are missing out something or we want to adapt to their lifestyle without even knowing what is our lifestyle needs and wants. All these things over time is creating a dopamine resistivity. This is a new word that I learned. Okay, now that I know my dopamine addictions, or I wouldn't call it as an addiction because I'm not repeatedly being dependent on it. But people who fell for it, you can call yourself as a dopamine resistant. You know why? Because unless that is shown to you, you are not able to create. See, you will need it a lot to trigger that same kind of a feelings because you started depending on those kind of a stimulant over a period of time. So for you to reverse it, you need to act on it over a period of time. It will not come to you overnight. Just because you attended this one call today and tomorrow, if you remember the 10, 24/7, it is not possible. You need to keep on continuously working on it, for which you need an accountability system. That is why I said one thing is community call, and next thing is we'll fix some accountability within the same people who are attending, or we'll find a system for it. Okay. And then you should also be knowing digital dopamine. Digital dopamine is something people fell for it, and this is the maximum vote. If you want to, if I ask somebody what all the distractions or dopamine effect you will have, most of the people will choose digital dopamine. It is very pathetic to see even old people right now have 2 mobiles with them, at least 2 gadgets, whether it is American or Indian. It's very pathetic. One TV at every single room, including my own family. Every room has a TV. Beyond the TV, every room has a mobile. And different numbers. I mean, in India, there's 2 SIM cards available, right? In one phone. That itself is a great outlet for them to be distracted. So imagine their social media handles are getting increased, and they want to keep on investing their time and effort in scrolling. Let's see what is the science behind it. What is the scene behind digital dopamine? The more we seek likes, comments, and immediate replies, our brains become conditioned to expect rapid results in those areas of life. But it is not possible for us to achieve it, but still we seek. And then this is going to negatively impact our capacity to think. How many of you here, touch your heart and say, have lost the capacity to recall a number of your friend, phone number? I have lost it. Big time I've lost it. But I don't want to contribute. Well, my business itself is online. Okay. I need to be on social media. However, if the last episode I showed my apps, what I have in my apps, the phone. I don't have a social media apps. Somebody acknowledged that you are also there. Yeah. I don't have social media apps. Instead, if I have to log in, I will have to find Google Chrome and browse through and log in. The very reason I knocked off, because it keeps giving me notification. And then the next step, what I did was I removed the notification, going to the settings button, remove notification from all, literally from even WhatsApp. I will not know who's messaging me. In case you're finding the link or you're trying to respond to me, reply to me or chat with me before the call, I wouldn't know, because I won't take it doesn't notify me at all. Even if I miss calls, it is missed because I removed the notification. And how peaceful it is, how focused I can. I'm teaching focus models. I'm teaching a productivity model and I'm able to implement it. But if I don't keep off the distractions, I wouldn't be able to justify what I've learned and what I'm teaching. I forget about teaching or learning. It's about there's no results for me. So first thing I did was knock off. And it is, right now even I cannot recall numbers. However, I have the system. I'm using my gadgets to my beneficiary. That much at least I'm able to distinguish. I clearly accept without my phone, I cannot exist. Why? Because for my school related, my kids' school related, communication on emails, notes, whatever my brain, eats me every day, I put that on there. Retrieval, personal documents or personal things. And my business itself is depending on the my community chats or reminders of my appointments and all that, depending on my mobile. Only those apps I have. The more we do this, see, engaging in action that brings us instant gratification. From all this, you have to just remember, when it is digital detox, right? Remember this word, instant gratification. That is, we want immediate likes, we want immediate comments, we want that person to read. How many of you know this read receipts? We always constantly look for it, right? Whether 1 tick, 2 tick, blue tick, all that. Those are all instant gratification. So doing these things that makes us feel good right away can make us do this more often. And that is why we are getting this as a habit. Eventually, over time, it is going to be as a behavior in us. And if the behavior is gone extreme, you will be an extreme person, extreme reactive person. And you can that time label it as an addiction. So assess yourself. Have you gotten into that mode already? If not, it's good time for you. It's good thing that you can still revoke it. Okay. The more we do this, the more we develop tolerance towards such behavior. This is another bulb on moment. The reason I was researching myself, okay, I was asking myself, whenever I get stressed, remember, for me, the trouble was my insecurity, my fear is I don't want to touch that burnout stage. But my brain and body doesn't know when I'm actually touching that burnout stage. I assume all the time, that's my fear, okay? I'm breaking through that because I'm learning emotional literacy. I'm learning about emotions, patterns. I'm able to recognize my patterns, trigger points. Even before it could build as a explosion, I'm able to predict that pattern. And immediately, I choose my ways to come out of it, especially during conversations with spouse or parenting with my child. Or sometimes when I see some email or something which is coming up, pressing my, maybe project deadlines or something, I get that, trigger building up in me. So right now I'm able to watch out that pattern, distancing from myself. I'm able to clearly see there are two me existing. That happened only out of constant efforts. Because I learned what is emotional literacy, because I learned the capacity to build recognizing patterns, I'm able to see the two different me existing. Before that, it is all one. I'm like totally confused. My mind is saying something, my body is, making reflexes in different ways. So most of the times I go into guilt, right? Oh no, why did I even say that? The tantrum that my kid shows, I was not able to handle. Anything and everything became so explosive in me. Then I realized it's not a good stage. I gained my weight. I tend to stress eat. Even that stress eating pattern is still there with me. Whenever I get stressed, right, my body and mind is not able to distinguish between the burnout stage. Instead of that, I go and eat something. This is something newly happening to me. I eat something, even though there are no junk foods, I tend to crave for sugar. I avoid sugar in my tea and coffee and all that. But whenever there is a stress point, I go and search for it. I can clearly see, because we don't have the sugary items, thankful to my child and my spouse, they are able to understand that we need not stock. Okay, somebody is saying stress eating. Yes, most of us have. I have stopped stocking stuffs in fridge. And I'm so thankful to my family. It's helping them also. First of all, it helped them. And right now it is helping me, because you never know. Just because I'm teaching emotional intelligence doesn't mean, in fact, I started teaching emotional intelligence because I went into shit. Sorry to use this language. I was burning myself out. I didn't know it was taking a toll on myself, my self-esteem, my relationship, everything. And that is the reason I want people not to do the same mistake. Even if I'm on learning emotional intelligence, doesn't mean I'm acting on it. It needs constant effort. It needs constant development. So that is why nobody can become master in EQ, because your brain and heart and body depends on a lot of external factors. It needs a constant nurturing. Okay. As a result, we are actually getting a tolerance towards that kind of a behavior. We are okay. I know coffee is not doing good, but I still want to try. I know sugar is not good, but what to do? I only have that as a convenience. I'm okay with that. I can tolerate whatever happens with, sugar. I think I'm okay gaining weight 1 or 2 kgs because of sugar. I'm okay watching Netflix series. I know the time is getting weight. You see the words and language that we use for our own selves. You don't have to tell this to anybody, but look at the language that you speak for yourself. I know it's getting, this is what I did when I started having stress eating, right? I tell myself, it's okay. I know more than the stress. I might as well choose the sugary items. And then immediately I go back to my work. That kind of little bit of, dopamine effect was okay for me. I was tolerant towards it until a point that I had to break through. Okay. As a result, routine things itself, which used to be interesting, this is another bulb on. Whatever routine, see, brain always, how does a brain, becomes efficient? How does one person become efficient? Thereby their productivity is increasing because they are efficient in doing what they're doing. Or maybe because they are doing what they're doing because they're already familiar. Maybe you're driving in a particular route, you're just so casual, you're like autopilot. You know exactly where you go. You know that route very familiar and your brain is working on autopilot. Thereby you reach even before anybody. You're so an expert in that route. Why? Because brain always breeds in familiarity. Thereby, we are also okay to do that. But when you are in your dopamine effect, even the one which you're familiar, when I'm stressed out, I know I have to do the cooking. But the cooking itself seems to be very heavy for me when I'm stressed out. I need that dopamine thing to, make me calm and then tolerate and everything and then do. So this is what they say. Routine things whichever used to be interesting might now seem boring. I'm not able to do that because we are used to get more exciting stuff. That instant rewarding system, I go search for that rewarding system. Many times I do binge watching Netflix. Now I do binge watching also, but there is a difference between why I did earlier years and now. The reason why I did binge watching earlier because I was bored. Although I had a business on hand, I was stressed out in many areas. I didn't know how to manage. I didn't know what was stopping me. What were the trigger and patterns? The only thing was happening to me was I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I'm bored. I did that. Binge watching. It was good for me. I felt good. And then after binge watching for 2 days, then I'll go back to my work, peacefully work. I didn't know that it was a stress level leading to anxiety. And then it went to almost a depression level, highest level of anxiety. But thankfully, before going to depression, I got a burnout and then I could quickly break through that. I could find out that maybe traveling can help me and then I had to make trips. Luckily, that kind of helped me. But right now, when I binge watch, there are logical reasons. One, I don't want to disturb their TV time. We only have one TV, one gadgets that I use for my business. There's no other gadgets. So what we will do is we'll divide our time. Right now, even more after learning all this focus models, productivity, I can easily break through. It's okay if I don't get that time. I know I can always make that time. First, I have to complete what I have committed. I've come to that stage right now, but it has taken a lot of time and effort and toll on. Okay, it takes a lot. But if you're aware and if you're willing to break through, then it's a matter of only knowing what you're supposed to do and having some, support system within yourself, around yourself is also equally important. If you're not surrounded with like-minded people who want to break through that inconsistency or, lack of discipline or poor lifestyle, you will again see, that's what they say, right? I will tell who you are based on, you just let me know who your friends are. Just give me 5 names or 5 people you indicate who you're, dealing with, whom you're associated with. I can easily figure out what kind of a person you are. So it's equally important that you have a right kind of associations around you. So you build that kind of people who can help you in your journey and be with them more. Of course, you need a lot of other people. We need all kind of people in our life so that they will know exactly, they will teach us what we're not supposed to do. But most of the times when you are, stuck in this kind of a, addictions or this kind of a compulsive behaviors, you need to break through and do a detox. Detox, not just from mind, from your workspace or, food, sleep and all that. You also should be able to detox from people. And that is exactly what is helping me right now in my journey. Well, detox, decluttering is a very interesting topic. It's a very, very useful topic for mothers like us. And I think we will cover that in the next episode. I know we've covered 2 broad points, but this itself has taken a lot of understanding in us. It's given us a lot of insights. I want to quickly know how it has helped you and what kind of aha moments that you had today. What has helped you and what will you continue in the next few days? You remember that key of retention. Can I have a quick share from you? Anybody wants to say if there is any learning which has touched you or which you felt, oh no, I've been doing this all while I didn't know, or this is what is exactly happening to me, but at least right now I know these 2 things. I will be conscious in the next 7 days because we will be discussing in the next episode how to break through all that. The techniques and hacks we will be discussing, the skills that we will be discussing the next week. But today, I think good amount of awareness has been given to you. If you're able to point out that aha moments in you, you can share. I'll be making some step towards, if you want, you can unmute yourself and speak. Somebody says I'll be making some steps towards digital detoxifying. Absolutely. Oh yeah, 10, 24, 7 days practice. Yes, Rashid. Great. Uninstall unwanted apps. Excellent. That is one of your learnings. Great. Super. I hope this was useful and just continue this learning, this reflection mode and create accountability from Minal. Oh, great. Great. If you've created that accountability and if it's working well for you for the next 7 days, right, Minal? I would love to see you next week live. And so you can share it with us whether that kind of accountability worked for you. So we would like to adapt it. Okay, Minal? And until I see you in the next episode, I want you to be in this reflection mode and slowly start implementing what you have committed here. And I also want you to go back in the group and post your 2 bulb on moments. And if it is possible, commit yourself. which 2 things that you would like to take on and work towards it for the next 7 days until I meet you in the next time. Okay. All right. So I will see you, and I'll be most happy to respond to you in the group as well. Okay. Bye-bye.